Good morning. Welcome, everyone. My name is Tara Healey. I am the program director of Harvard Pilgrim and Tufts Health Plan's mindfulness program called Mind the Moment. And this is our Thursday morning gathering. So for anybody that is new and joining us for the first time, a very warm welcome to you. So these practices are about 12 to 14 minutes in length, and they're fully guided. And welcome to all of you who have been with us for a number of years as well. So what I would ask is if folks could open up the chat, and if you go to the drop-down menu and be sure to select everyone so that we can all see each other's comments. So we save a little bit of time at the end just for Q&A, sharing of resources, sharing of ideas. So anybody that's come across a book or a podcast or something that they would like to offer the community, just a way for us to learn from each other. And we also always kick these off with just a check-in question. And I don't know how many of you that are on today were also on yesterday, but I'm going to ask the same question. And because I think there are a lot of different ways you can answer it. And as I was thinking yesterday about the question, and yesterday was a beautiful spring day, but I've been thinking a lot about the idea of planting and planting seeds. And it's not uncommon in this practice to think about the qualities that we're developing of kindness and compassion and generosity, self-awareness, that through this practice, we are planting and sort of nurturing the seeds of those pro-social qualities. Thich Nhat Hanh especially is noted for, thinking about this practice as, planting the seeds of gratitude, of kindness. And so my question is, what are the seeds that you're wanting to plant this spring? And wanting, because I think that it can change for us depending on what's going on in our lives. But what are the kind of seeds that you're thinking of really nourishing for yourself? But I also yesterday extended it to include any seeds, so vegetables or flowers, or it all counts. So feel free to go ahead and populate the chat. What are the seeds that you're cultivating, and what are the seeds that you're really wanting to nourish within yourself to bring out into the world? And I'll start. Peace and tranquility. And I think, also along those lines, just given our state of the world and the divisions and, what's needed. And the word that I keep coming to is kindness. It's not the only thing, but just a sense of, kindness and forgiveness and open-heartedness, like these are the qualities that we're practicing, because we all have all kinds of seeds within us, and we can nurture those that we want to bring out. So inner peace, patience, and reacting with loving kindness, playfulness, and vitality. Still watering the seed. Connection with the earth and others. Kindness towards strangers. It's interesting. I think that in the loving kindness practices, we offer thoughts of well-being to someone that we don't know, and that increases our capacity for being open to others, and the recognition just of our shared humanity. Yeah. So we'll save time, of course, at the end. Kindness and compassion for self and others. Yeah. So I feel like this work matters. I think that I always say that often what's needed is trust that there might be something to these practices, because over time we are cultivating these qualities, and the benefits of the practice can sometimes be or feel imperceptible, but over time they're accumulating. So this idea of trust that there's something to this, working with our minds, looking at the nature of our minds, and seeing that this is universal. This is the nature of everybody's mind. It's just that the stories and the narratives in our own minds are going to be different than our neighbors. Our life experiences are different, but the way the mind works is the same. And see, we have another uh, helped hundreds of runners on Monday. Wow, that's awesome. Yeah. So then so we can extend these qualities, and the idea is that we, of course, bring them out into the world, that we set aside time like we are right now to practice working with our minds and our bodies so that we can develop these abiding qualities so that when we're done with our formal practice, we're actually taking that out into the service of our lives. That's impacts every aspect of it, from how we drive to how we listen to how we purchase, the whole thing. Uh, so with that, let's go ahead and get started. And you can take a posture that feels uh, best for you. If you're tired, I would say stand with eyes open or sit with eyes open. But if you feel like your energy is good and you want to do this practice lying down, that's also fine. So go ahead and make some adjustments so that you're sitting in a way that is upright and engaged, and your eyes, of course, open or closed. And if they're open, gaze downward a little bit to help remove peripheral distraction. And everybody on your own, just take a couple deep breaths. Make your exhalation longer than your inhalation, just as a way to settle in, to arrive, settle any surface tension. And on that second exhalation, surrendering your weight into the support of the surface, into the support of the ground below, yet maintain the engaged upright posture with a spine that is straight but not stiff. And just receive the sensations that your body is offering from your activity this morning. So you might notice a pulsing, a vibration, tingling, temperature, points of contact with the back of the body and the surface. So just take a moment to tune into the whole body and receive whatever is being offered. And nothing to do, but just aware of what the body is offering. It might feel good, it might not feel good. There could be just a neutral sense, neither good or unpleasant. But just really bringing attention to your whole body and noticing how things are and what sensations are being known. As the mind wanders, just come back, not a problem. The mind's going to wander a lot, it's just what it does. And when we're in formal practice, we just acknowledge it with a soft mental note, thinking. Soften your body and then return to your anchor. And for now, we're going to anchor in the entire body, all the sensations that you're aware of, including points of contact, of course. And let's take a moment to broaden awareness to include sound that might be occurring in the room or outside of the room. So just expanding awareness beyond the body, just for a moment, engaging hearing. And allowing sound to rise and pass in your background as it will, or maybe there's a consistent sound, bringing awareness back inward to the whole body. And I'm just going to have a sweep attention through the body. So starting at the very top of the head and moving down over the face, sides of the head, the back of the head, bringing awareness down around the neck and shoulders, sweeping down the arms, both the left and the right side, including the hands, coming to the torso. And again, as we move through the body, just noticing that particular area, receiving sensation or noticing lack of. So moving from the torso down over the hips and thighs, the knees, the lower legs, and the feet. And releasing that. And for the remainder of the practice, we're going to have a more narrow focus. So finding an anchor, such as breath sensation. So as you inhale and exhale, at whatever pace is normal for you, it doesn't have to be a special kind of breath. Where is the inhalation and exhalation most noticeable? Is it the rise and fall of the belly, the chest, the nostrils? Or is it simply as you inhale and exhale, there's a subtle movement of the whole body, and that could be your anchor? If breath is challenging today, you could take the palms of your hands, rest them on the top of your thighs. You could rest your hands with each other, or you could use sound if there's a consistent sound in your background. So take a moment to select an anchor for the remainder of the practice. And you'll return to this over and over again as you see that a thought slips in unnoticed and then you notice it. That's a great moment. And making a soft mental note thinking, releasing the narrative, the memory, the planning, the worry, and returning to the anchor. So I'll be silent for the next several minutes, actually. And noticing where your mind is. A soft mental note, thinking. You can even be more specific, like planning. Um, Thinking keeps it pretty simple. And bring awareness to the whole body. Soften. There's a subtle contraction that happens when thoughts slip in. So just notice your whole body and soften and return to your anchor. And as we bring this meditation to a close, may we be peaceful and at ease. May our hearts be soft and open. May we be safe and protected, and our bodies healthy and strong. And whatever good comes of our practice, may it be for the benefit of all beings. And taking a moment, if your eyes were closed or if they were open and gaze downward, it's always helpful to just look around the room, take a little bit of a stretch, um, just reorient to your surroundings. Um, and so that was about 14 minutes just to kind of give a sense of time. So usually the practice of anywhere between 12 and 14. Um, And I think I just want to emphasize, because my mind was pretty busy this morning, is that it's, you know, each practice, it's not, I would say, even be careful of labeling good or bad, that every practice is different, and it depends often on just what's going on in your life. And there will be some practices that feel pretty easy, pretty, just not a lot of chatter. And then others where there is a lot of chatter, and they're both equally important. Um, and I think, for me this morning, I had a lot of chatter. I went to a talk on artificial intelligence last night through the Connecticut Forum, and a lot of my practice just now was swirling around the implications of AI. So it's funny because I think it just, the content of our minds is often going to be just associated with what's going on, what we might have heard, witnessed, watched, what's happening personally, the whole thing. And it's literally all included in practice. So it's not problematic. It's just this, we can be lost in the thoughts or physical pain or emotional pain. And then you see it. As soon as you see it, there is, you're just making space for it. You're feeling the implications in the body. What does this feel like? Well, I know for me, when my mind is in a swirl and I come to the body, I really feel contracted. So just bringing a little bit of softness and then returning. So you're doing it correctly. The acknowledgement of what's going on, the feeling of it in the body, the softening of the body, and then the returning. And this, just doing this over and over again in practice, you're just creating some steadiness and ease and concentration of mind and heart that then enables us to work with uh, all the various arisings, especially, I mean, when things are pleasant, it's easier, but they're going to change because the nature of everything is change. So you learn to enjoy the pleasure, like actually increase the enjoyment of the pleasure. And then when things that are painful or difficult, um, that also is of a nature to change, because that's like a huge thing that we're learning through the repetition of this practice. So anyway, those were just a few thoughts that were on my mind, but we've got about 5 minutes. So if anybody has anything they want to share, again, like a book or a podcast or something you've come across recently that has inspired you or felt positive and hopeful, or important, please feel, and of course, any comments about this practice, any comments about your own practice, any questions, all welcome. Oh, yes. Yeah, there's a question about Suzanne. So that is also something that I wanted to say. So um, I was in touch with Suzanne yesterday afternoon. So she's still dealing with a lot of fatigue. So she's dealing with a lot of physical fatigue. And so she has said that she just needs to continue to let her body rest. Um, and so we are supporting that. And I know that all of you are supporting that. And if you have any thoughts for Suzanne or questions for Suzanne, you can please put those in the chat, and we'll save the chat and send that to, and I'll get that to Suzanne. So I will always, at each of the sessions, give folks an opportunity to send any thoughts or wishes her way. So thanks. Yes, it is very funny to see the thoughts that the mind chases. Yeah. Yes. And artificial intelligence gives a lot there's a lot of grist for the mill there, because clearly there are benefits. And but there's also a darker side. So in yesterday's practice, some of you who are on today might have been on yesterday. We talked a lot about Suzanne as well, and I sent along the sentiments to her of just, people were saying yesterday, we just want her to take as much care and time as she needs. And that's how we feel as well. And she knows that. So anything else that anybody would like to share or offer or ask? And like her to help me in these practices. Oh, Susan, you're welcome. Yeah, it's sort of become a very regular part of my practice, is just really checking in with the body. And just, I think culturally, we're really taught to be checking in from the neck up. And there, the body holds so much, of our emotions, of everything. And the beauty of these practices that it reconnects us with our bodies. Oh, you are welcome, Anne. Anybody else have anything that they would like to say or offer or share? And I will keep regularly updating about Suzanne too. So she had hoped to be back this month, but I'll regularly update. And I just, before folks leave, I just want to share my screen just for a minute. Just a reminder about the website to see past recordings of the sessions with Kel Juilliard that are running. Let me go to that slide. That are running through the month of April on Wednesdays. It doesn't matter if you missed any, they're all recorded, and you can go back and see the ones that happened last night and the 2 previous Wednesdays. And there's one more coming up next week. They're about 45 minutes. People have been really enjoying them. Kel's a great teacher, and he's basically breaking down Judd Brewer's book into kind of digestible practices for day-to-day, really making it practical. So I just wanted to give that a plug again. And let me stop that share. And I just want to thank everybody for joining this morning. We're right at 9 o'clock. Heather, a quote from Thich Nhat Hanh: "Awareness is like the sun. When it shines on things, they are transformed." That is such a beautiful quote. It's such a beautiful quote. And so the light of awareness is it's a great metaphor that, so even when things are unpleasant or difficult or challenging, the light of awareness helps transform them. And again, you don't have to blindly believe. That's another part of the practice that's so beautiful, is that it's just trusting there might be something to this, and then testing it for yourself, just testing it for yourself, and seeing how awareness transforms our relationship to the things that cause us distress or discomfort. And that includes things that are really good that we know are going to change. So everything is of the nature to change, but it brings greater enjoyment to those things that are pleasant. Thank you, Janice. And again, we're at 9:02. So Thanks, everybody. And see you Tuesday. And Jackie Johnson will be leading the session on Tuesday. Okay, bye.